Good morning. Not too bad today, just before dawn. England! Ha! Northumbria. This is Beethoven's last late string quartet, number 16, played by the Aubenberg Quartet. There's something of beauty. My blackbird's waiting. Well, I don't know what he's waiting for. He says, oh, it's a bit cold out here. He's sitting on the fence. He's got his breakfast ready. I've cracked the ice on the water. I must have water birdies. Well, all of us actually, as it happens. The word for water in Tswana, the language of the people of Botswana, the Matswana, is pula, believe it or not. So, love is the answer. What was the question? Oh, what is the meaning of life? Two commandments: love God, love your neighbour as yourself. I've been chatting to this chap in America. He's kindly watched some of my films. And one sort of skates over it, but our duty in life is to seek God's will, not our wills. And it's slap bang right there in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Well, there it is. It's just sort of trips off the tongue to anyone who's got a Christian background. They will have heard the Lord's Prayer. It's the prayer that Christ gave us all. It's the only prayer I know, actually. And you can just go through the whole of it, and I have done, and just expound upon every word, essentially. And again, there's the two commandments. Love God, love your neighbour as yourself. But that is the basis, should be the basis for everyone's life. None of us are perfect. So forgive us our trespasses as we forgive them that trespass against us. Indeed. Where would we be if we all continued to bear grudges? We'd be exactly where we are. Murder and mayhem, revenge, etc., etc. Turn the other cheek. Every single hair on the head of your fellow man is precious and special. So you can't even think of harming them, let alone killing them. I found myself listening to the Stone woman. She was a very attractive woman, now getting a bit older, as we all do. But in the 90s, what's her name? Stone, something Stone. Afraid it's just not my era or scene or whatever. Anyway, she was world famous in her day, and probably still is. And she was just speaking of the sort of power her position of world recognition gave, and probably still gives her. I'm told, not that I've had the slightest chance of experiencing it, but actually fame is a bit of a double-edged sword. You never get any peace, and people are always recognising you and mithering you, possibly, and possibly in a bad way as well. Well, if we all, I don't know, just rambling on. God is the boss. Individually, me, myself, feels so powerless to do anything of real value and eternal worth, as my mother would remind me. May I be a friend of that which is eternal and abides. That. So long after one's dead, this is Beethoven. He created this and his music in toto. That sort of thing. Well, that was his gift. My gift, for what it's worth, is my faith. God has given me this rock-solid faith. And this is my attempt to share it with the world, as it were. I work at not ramming my Christian faith down people's throats, but if I have a sort of conversation, as one does, you meet people here and there and so on, complete strangers, more often than not, the conversation will go towards matters of faith. I suppose I'll sort of steer it in that direction. What is the other person's faith? Someone, just chatting with someone locally, he's a master chef, has a restaurant here in Alnwick, Northumbria, northeastern corner of Ingerland. And I believe I wish they wouldn't do that. I'm so sorry. I refuse to pay for YouTube to get ad-free. That's on YouTube. I'm not quite sure now, but his wife certainly had cancer and had possibly died through it. And he had other things he mentioned, and he, in adversity like that, the human spirit is inclined to turn to spiritual matters. Turned out he sort of said, well, I used to be a Roman Catholic sort of thing. It would seem that adversity is one of God's ways of drawing us to him. The time to turn to God is when everything's fine in your life. Don't forget him just because it's all going fine. Oh, well, top of the tree and all the rest of it, materially okay, and perhaps you've got a family about you and a good job and nice friends and I don't know, whatever else it takes to make you happy, that is the time, absolutely, to make sure that you still continue with the two commandments. But the greatest of these is, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind, and all thy strength. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbour as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. That is most certainly engraved upon my soul. Amen.